Polyp is because I told you there are two types of polyp. One is neoplastic, the other one is non-neoplastic. Neoplastic is called adenoma. So all those adenomatous polyp, they are precancerous, and most of the carcinoma arise in those adenomatous polyp. That's why following that lecture, I am going to talk to you about carcinoma of colon because the adenomatous polyp play a major role in the pathogenesis of carcinoma of colon. So today's topic is carcinoma of colon, which is more common in males than female, and seven decades, that is 60 to 79 years is the peak age, means it occurs in older age. And as I told you, almost all colon cancer begin in adenomatous polyp. So this is important. What are the risk factor, etiological agent? Now age is more than 50 years is a risk factor. Overweight, obesity is a risk factor for colon carcinoma. Sedentary lifestyle, smoking, alcohol, these are also contributory. An inflammatory condition of the bowel, that is inflammatory bowel disease, IBD, inflammatory bowel disease. Next lecture will be inflammatory bowel disease. So this is also risk factor. Then most important is diet. That's why I like diet. I will be telling you how diet plays a part. And family history of carcinoma, that means genetics is involved. And as a familial polyposis syndrome, Hughes-Jaeger, FAP, all those, juvenile polyposis, all those are, as I told you, precancerous. So these are the risk factor, colon carcinoma. And you can call it environmental risk factor or whatever you can take. Now, how diets plays part in the colon cancer evolution? Now, those diets, if there is excess energy intake relative to the requirement, that will lead, of course, to obesity. If there is low unabsorbable fiber, so high fiber content diet is preventive. So low absorbable fiber, that is a maida, is harmful. High intake of red meat is also equally or much more than that. This is a very high risk factor. Decrease intake of protective micronutrients, that is vitamin A, C, and E. So these are the how this diet plays a part in the causation of colon cancer. That's there I had highlighted it, and I am telling you what is the pathogenesis of role of diet in the causation of colon cancer. Now these factors, those dietary factors, lead to decreased stool bulk. If a lot of meat somebody takes, stool bulk will be less, and he will suffer from constipation. And this constipation will lead to altered bacterial flora of the bowel. And toxic oxidative byproduct of carbohydrate by bacteria are held in contact of mucosa for a longer period due to constipation. So those dietary that meat and unabsorbable absorbable or unabsorbable absorbable content which lead to that maida and other thing, low fiber content, they will lead to constipation, and constipation will lead to longer stasis of the food, this fecal content in the large bowel, and bacteria will produce toxic products, and that is held in contact in mucosa for a longer period because of constipation. So that is how diet plays its part in causation of cancer, colon. Now other etiological agent has been found in the cyclooxygenase at COX-2. It produces those prostaglandins. And as I told in stomach cancer, stomach cancer, I told you that prostaglandin E, role of prostaglandin E, prevents the stomach carcinoma. Here also, the cyclooxygenase is found in a higher concentration. So that will lead to 90% of adenoma and carcinoma of colon. This cyclooxygenase is found in the higher concentration. And mechanism is not known. What PGE2 causes epithelial proliferation and inhibits apoptosis. So aspirin is protective for colon cancer because it inhibits the cyclooxygenase. Now in there I told you PGE2 helps in the repair of the gastric mucosa because of regeneration and proliferation. So their role is different, protective. Here it is a because it leads to excessive proliferation. There acid there, here acid is not there. So there is a lot of damage, recurrent damage which has to be repaired. And there PGE2 plays a different role, protective role. Here it is a causative agent because of increased proliferative activity of the PGE2. Now what are the genetic factors? There are inherited and acquired mutation in several genes are associated with colon carcinoma. And what are the genes involved which undergo mutation? As I told you, APC, adenomatous polyposis coli gene, that leads to familial adenomatous polyposis. DCC, that is gene deleted in colon cancer. KRAS, P53, SMART2, SMART4, DNA repair gene. These are all mutated in the colon cancer. And what is the role of SMART? SMART genes code for transforming growth factor beta, and the mutation causes uninhibited growth. So that is the role of SMART. SMART is a signal transduction gene, and it leads to activation of cyclin as well as c-MYC, which control the. So it will help in entry of the cell cycle from G1 to S phase. So that's why the more proliferation when the SMART is mutation. APC, I'll tell you how it acts. So these are the various genes which are mutated in colon carcinoma. So first, dietary factor I told you. Risk factor, I explained all of them. And then I elaborated on the role of diet in causation of cancer as well as genetic factors, which will come to this later on also when we talk about pathogenesis, a molecular basis of colon cancer. Now, what is the molecular basis of colon cancer? Or colorectal. When we talk about colon, that includes rectum also. Carcinoma colon is an example of multi-step carcinogenesis. Multi-step carcinogenesis means single gene mutation is not the cause of cancer. There are multiple mutations at different stages. It takes a longer time, not in just few months or weeks or year. It takes a very long time for because there is a various stages. That's why we call it multi-step carcinogenesis. And this is colon carcinoma is example of this. Now, molecular events that lead to colon carcinoma include the genetic and epigenetic. Genetic, you know that all those genes which you can see. Epigenetic events is epigenetic abnormality is those genes which appear normal, but their function is abnormal, means they become silent. The genes are normal there, but they do not act. So it is as good as mutation. So that is called epigenetic abnormality, and that occurs because of methylation of the DNA of that gene. So structurally, gene is normal, but hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We can hear you.
Net disturbance, so it was disconnected. So we are talking about molecular basis of colorectal carcinoma. So as in neoplasia, I told you molecular basis of neoplasia, activation of oncogene, that is proto-oncogene to oncogene conversion, and then inactivation of tumor suppressor genes. So all those genes which I told you, either they are oncogene or they are tumor suppressor gene. So that APC is a tumor suppressor gene. So these mutation again, these mutation initially lead to adenomatous polyp, and then there are further acquired mutation, and that becomes malignant. That is 4 to 10 mutation are required to produce malignant phenotype. So initially these mutation in the genes will lead to adenomatous polyp, and further mutation will lead to cancer of colon. Now toward epigenetic event, I told you what is epigenetic. Now there are two genetic pathways, two distinct genetic pathways have been described. Classical adenoma carcinoma sequence, that is APC mutation. So that is called APC beta catenin pathway. And then microsatellite instability pathway, that is when there is a mismatch repair gene. DNA mismatch repair gene abnormality. So DNA abnormality cannot be repaired. So that is both pathway involved in stepwise accumulation of multiple mutations. We'll be talking about this adenoma carcinoma. Most cancer believed to arise within pre-existing adenoma, and risk of cancer is greatest in villous adenoma, I told you earlier. And series of mutation in these genes results in epithelial changes from normal to hyperplasia, to neoplasia, to dysplasia, to carcinoma. So those are the stages: epithelial hyperplasia, neoplasia, dysplasia, and carcinoma. And then carcinoma which become metastatic, that is invasive. And important genes I told you: APC, DCC, KRAS, P53, DNA, repair genes, as well as those SMART and 1 and 4. So this is a sequence with adenoma first, then carcinoma. Now, what is the APC catenin pathway? APC is tumor suppressor gene, and both, that's why tumor suppressor, both copy of tumor suppressor gene has to be mutated. So APC, both copies have to be inactivated either by mutation or, as I told you, epigenetic event, means silencing of gene. It doesn't work, but it is there. This leads to development of adenoma. So APC mutation will lead to development of adenoma. Now, how it occurs? This APC gene product, that is APC protein, degrades beta-catenin, which is in there in cytoplasm, which is a messenger protein in WNT signal transduction. So loss of APC function, if there is mutation of APC by genetic or epigenetic event, then it will lead to accumulation of beta-catenin, and this will go to the nucleus, translocation of beta-catenin to nucleus, where it activates transcription of several genes, that is c-MYC gene, cyclin D1, and these two genes help in activation of cell cycle and promotion of the cell proliferation, that is entry of cell cycle from G1 to S phase and then M phase. So 80% of sporadic carcinoma have this APC mutation. So adenoma carcinoma sequence neoplastic progression is associated with additional mutation in KRAS. So first was APC mutation, then additional mutation in KRAS, which promotes growth and prevents apoptosis. Mutation in other tumor suppressor genes such as DCC, SMART4, and P53 allows unrestricted cell growth and cancer carcinoma. Now I'll show you this in this diagrammatic view. See, this is a first mutation leading to hyperproliferation, that is hyperplasia. That will lead to formation of adenomatous polyp. This is small, then it becomes large. Now, severe dysplasia, that is precancerous type, that is further mutation of gene, and then this will lead to formation of adenocarcinoma, and then further mutation will lead to metastasis. This is showing the invasion. Now, this is shown in the another normal colon mucosa at risk, that is methylation abnormality, that is epigenetic event, APC beta-catenin mutation. Then what is there? Then you can see this adenoma and then carcinoma, same thing, and there are different, all those different type of gene involved, mutation involved in the different stages of the cancer. So that is the adenoma carcinoma sequence, that is multi-step theory of carcinogenesis, and carcinoma of colon is example of that multi-step carcinogenesis. And initially there is hyperplasia, then adenoma formation, then dysplasia, and then carcinoma in situ, and then invasive carcinoma. So that is a carcinogenesis, molecular basis of carcinogenesis. Now coming to morphology. Now these are the sites of colon cancer and their percent. Most common site is cecum and ascending colon, and descending colon and proximal sigmoid. So first part and that third part is more important. 25%, 25%, or I think all over it is 25%. And rectum and distal sigmoid is 25%, and remaining size is. So this is means they are found all over, but more common is cecum and ascending colon. That is cecum and ascending colon and descending colon and proximal sigmoid. They are formed 50%, and that rectum and distal part of again 75. So if we include that, it remains all those things will make 75%. cecum, ascending colon, descending colon, proximal sigmoid, rectum, and distal. So these are 75% of cases. And remaining sides, that is transverse colon and upper sigmoid colon, and those remaining part will splenic flexure and hepatic flexure, all those will be 25%. So these are the sites of the colon cancer. Now under GRAS, there are 4 types of growth. Exophytic cauliflower-like growth, I have already told you those. They project on the surface like a tumor on the surface of mucosa. That is exophytic, means out, up, so above the mucosa. And they form a cauliflower-like mass. Then there is a second type, which is ulcerated lesion, which penetrates to the bowel wall. So it doesn't project in the lumen. It forms ulcer, which goes deep into the bowel wall. Third is annular constricting type. It forms constriction, like a napkin ring. So that is the third type. And rare fourth type is when it produces a lot of mucin. So it is called colloid mucus secreting tumor. So these are 4 types of gross morphological types of colon cancer. Now tumor of proximal colon are usually polypoid or exophytic, means they grow in the lumen and they do not produce immediate symptom because there is a lot of space. So obstruction doesn't occur. So they grow, they are detected late. Polypoid and exophytic growth in the proximal colon, that is cecum and ascending colon. Now tumor in distal colon, that is in the sigmoid colon, this left side, that was right side of the colon. The left side of colon, that is the sigmoid colon and rectum, and they will produce annular encircling lesion. That I told you, they produce constriction, that is a napkin ring constriction. Like a napkin ring, they narrow the lumen of the colon at that particular point. So that causes the contraction of bowel or constriction of bowel and narrowing of lumen. So that will lead to obstructive lesions. So they are detected early. So the right side colon lesion. So we are talking about gross, 4 types of gross appearance. That is polypoid, ulcerating, constricting, and then colloid or a lot of mucin secreting. That is gross finding. Right side it is a polypoid growth and takes longer time to produce symptom. Right side, left side it is a constricting lesion, napkin ring type constriction. So it produces early symptoms and it detected early. Now we go to the microscopic is not that. This gross you should remember. Microscopic is adenocarcinoma as any other adenocarcinoma, any other site. Now under microscope it is adenocarcinoma, they form glands. And that adenocarcinoma, like any cancer, it can be well differentiated, means there will be lot of glands, or undifferentiated means there will not be any formation of gland. And in between there may be motility differentiated, that is, there will be gland as well as undifferentiated cell. So that is basically it is adenocarcinoma. Now if there is produces lot of mucin, then it becomes mucinous carcinoma. And if individual cells are containing mucin inside, like in gastric cancer, that leather bottle appearance. Here, of course, it doesn't produce leather bottle, but signet ring cell carcinoma is also found in the colon. And criteria is when 50% of cells, cancer cells, are having signet ring cells, then it is called signet ring cell carcinoma. So cancer of anal region will be squamous cell carcinoma because it is lined by squamous cell. And you know what is squamous cell carcinoma, microscope. So microscopically, basically it is adenocarcinoma if it is arising in the colon and rectum. If it is arising in the anal region, it is squamous cell carcinoma. And adenocarcinoma, when produces lot of mucin, it becomes mucinous cell carcinoma. And if there is a lot of signet ring cell, more than 50, signet ring cell carcinoma. Complication is intestinal obstruction, more common in left side. That I told you because of constrictive napkin ring like constriction, GIT, hemorrhage, infection, formation, metastasis, recurrence after surgery, development of second primary from other sites, that is called metachronosis. In the same, if suppose cancer is on right side, it arises from the other side, or In other part of GIT, it's called metachronosis. But it has to be different type of cancer. Not that if it's the same type, it becomes metastasis. Side effect of surgery and radiotherapy and chemotherapy. So these are the various complications. I don't think it is in the syllabus. Now you see that this is a polypoid. This is in the cecum. So this is a polypoid growth. Polypoid. This is the other one is that constricting growth that is in the left side, and it forms a napkin ring constriction. This you can see this is a constriction. This is because of fibrosis. So there is a narrowing of this, and that will lead to obstructive symptoms. This is adenocarcinoma. You see in the lumen mucin is there, but this is a not a mucin cell carcinoma. It is adenocarcinoma because adenocarcinoma produces mucin. When it becomes mucin becomes outside the cell, there is glands. Lot of mucin, the cancer cells are lying in pool of mucin, then it becomes mucinous cell. This is again in the submucosa. This is a mucinous cell carcinoma. See, lot of mucin is there. These all the cancer cells are suspended blue. You can't see here very clearly. This background is bluish. That is all mucin, and these are cancer cells hanging in that. These are of course muscular layer. It has already invaded. Must be muscularis mucosa. So it is a mucinous carcinoma, and this is signet ring. You can see this cancer cell containing a vacuole like a signet ring, like a ring. So if there are 50% or more cells, here it is very clear. I think that is the last slide. So I'll just revise it for those who have not heard completely. So colon cancer, 7th decade, and mostly arise in adenomatous polyp. Risk factors are age beyond 50, overweight, sedentary lifestyle, smoking and alcohol, inflammatory bowel disease. Diet plays a very important, I'll tell you later on what is the dietary role. Then family history and inheritance, that is genetics, that also what are the genes involved. And then adenomatous polyp, that is the adenoma forming polyps, as well as all those familial polyposis syndrome. So these are the risk factors. Diet, because those diets which contain low unabsorbable or low fiber content, high refined carbohydrate, high intake of meat, and lack of vitamin A, C, and E, that all leads to constipation, and this constipation leads to stasis of food in the colon, and bacterial degradation will lead to formation of toxic products, and that will remain because of constipation for a longer time in contact with the mucosa, and that will lead to formation of development of cancer. Now, cyclooxygenase has been found in higher concentration in the colon cancer as well as in adenomatous polyp, and that what is the role of that cyclooxygenase? It produces PGE2, which causes epithelial proliferation, inhibits hepatosis. So aspirin has been found to be protective. Then genetics factor, I told you various gene, APC gene, DCC gene, KROS, P53, SMART4, DNA repair genes. And these genes, either oncogenes or proto-oncogenes, mutation in these genes will lead to adenoma and carcinoma. And this molecular basis of carcinoma of colon is multi-step carcinogenesis. That is, it leads to first epithelial proliferation, then formation of adenoma, then leading to carcinoma in situ, and then carcinoma, and then metastasis. And this is all brought about by activation of oncogene or inactivation of tumor suppression gene at different stages. Now, epigenetic events, I told you, genes are normal, but they are functioning not there, they are silent. So that is caused by methylation of DNA. Two types of genetic pathway, that is a classical adenoma carcinoma, that is APC beta catenin pathway, and the second microsatellite instability pathway, that is DNA mismatch repair gene alteration. We'll be talking about adenoma carcinoma sequence, that is, as I've already told you, villus adenoma is more common, leading to the colon carcinoma, and these are important APC, DCC, KROS, and all different. APC catenin pathway, that is that APC causes breakdown of beta catenin, and this is a single transcription gene. So if APC mutation is there, beta catenin is not broken down, so it accumulates and increases in quantity, and it goes to the nucleus and causes activation of c-MYC and cyclin D, which lead to activation of cell cycle and proliferation. So 80% of sporadic colon cancer are associated with APC mutation. Now this I showed you what is the adenoma carcinoma sequence: hyperplasia, adenoma, then adenocarcinoma, and then invasion. Morphology I told you: sites 25% cecum and ascending colon, 25% descending colon and proximal sigmoid, rectum and distal sigmoid 25%, and remaining sites is 25%. So if you are asked carcinoma of rectum, it means carcinoma of colon. So you have to write the same pathogenesis, that is a etiological agent, the diet and all those risk factors, as well as molecular basis. And morphology is same as colon cancer. So don't think the rectum is separate. Colon includes rectum. So all the cancer of colon and rectum are similar. Only thing, rectal carcinoma is more and is easily detected. The rectum and distal sigmoid, that is the smallest part, and that has got 25%. So that is a site. And then coming to gross appearance, 4 types I told you: exophytic, cauliflower-like, ulcerating, that penetrating to the wall, annular constricting, that is a forming a napkin ring constriction, and then colloid mucus secreting tumor, a lot of mucin will be there. And then tumor of the proximal colon, that is sigmoid, as well as ascending colon is polypoid or exophytic. And tumor of the left side, that is a rectum, and descending colon will be annular constricting type. Under microscope, it is an adenocarcinoma that forms gland. If it is well differentiated, and it may be undifferentiated also, when the glands are not there, and it will be moderately differentiated when the glands and the cells are undifferentiated. Then mucinous carcinoma, a lot of mucin is there, and signet ring cell carcinoma is where 50% cells are signet, more than signet ring cell. Anal region, it is squamous cell. So this is what complication: bleeding, obstruction, metastasis, complication of surgery, radiation, chemotherapy, all those are complications. Perforation, bleeding. This is constricting carcinoma. This is that exophytic polypoid or cauliflower-like constricting. This is adenocarcinoma forming glands, and lumen is there. This is again adenocarcinoma. This is a mucinous carcinoma. Pool of, these are what you are seeing is small. These are carcinoma cells, and they are lying in the pool of mucin. And see, this cancer is infiltrated in the muscular layer. These are the muscular layers. And pool of, they are suspended in pool of mucin. So it is mucinous. And this is signet ring. So these are the various aspects of carcinoma of colon and rectum. छोटा सा चीज पूछा जाएगा. Short SAQ आता है. SAQ में क्या आएगा? I don't think they may ask pathogenesis, so you have to write the risk factor. And don't, if you don't write that molecular basis, but at least you should know the etiological and genetic occurrence. A few genes at least you should know: APC, DCC, and SMART, and all that. And if you can write that it is multi-step, means hyperplasia, adenoma, then dysplasia, and then carcinoma, that becomes a multi-step carcinogenesis. And then you have to know the 4 types of morphological types of colon and rectal carcinoma. That is a polypoid, cauliflower-like, ulcerating, and then constricting, that annular constricting. And then 4th one is lot of mucin producing. And then under microscope, it is adenocarcinoma, that is forming glands, may be well differentiated, poorly differentiated. If there is a lot of mucin, means tumor cells are lying in the pool of mucin, it becomes mucinous carcinoma. If signet ring cells are more than 50%, it becomes a signet ring cell. So itna jo hai, zyada kahan hai? So I have revised you. What more you want? It is not a very large thing. If you read selectively for once or twice, you should remember. And the morphological aspect, that is gross, is everywhere same. I told you, in the whole GIT you will find similar things. Of course, constricting is not that, polypoid, ulcerating, and fungating, and all those is there also. Complication will be same: hemorrhage, obstruction, all those things, metastasis. And microscopically, they are mostly adenocarcinoma. When it forms more mucin, it becomes mucinous carcinoma. If it has got signet ring cell, it becomes signet ring. So what is the difficulty? It is very simple. Etiological agent you should remember. In colon and rectum carcinoma, genetics and diet. I told you the role of diet, that constipation diet. And genetics, I told you that multiple mutation in different genes and those syndromes, familial polyposis, they are also genetic. So these three are major. After that, you can say age, then this sedentary habit, then obesity, then in a lifestyle, that inactive person and all that. Those are the six additional things. Then smoking, alcohol. I think all GIT, the smoking alcohol is there. So, but those are etiological. So it is not very difficult to remember if you want to. Okay, bye bye if you don't have questions.